Welcome to a Minneapolis by night mage venue. Uh, this is going to be looks like primarily a side scene for Fixx. He's got some things to take care of around the city. Uh, so I assume you're starting out either at your place or at the Chantry. That's your call. But you guys had returned to the Chantry after your dealings with these Tremere mages who had been hexing people. So where you go from there is up to you.
I'm going to go see Cornelius at the shop, and that's where I was going to go to.
Sure. All right. Well, you know where Cornelius' shop is, having come through there when you left the Hermetic Chantry. So it's not a long drive, and he keeps some pretty late hours, so it's open.
You kind of walk on in there.
He's at the counter, but he kind of gives you a nod, and kind of just waves around to the shop, and inviting you to look around and see if there's anything specific you're looking for.
Just like, hi, Cornelius.
Good evening, Mr. Fixx, I believe it was, correct?
Yeah, I'm fixed. Look, I got this list for you. Places I've been, things I've seen. You're the guy, so I thought you should know. So you don't get, so regular people don't get hurt by this stuff. I figure you own a shop, you know other shop people, you can make shop things happen. Here's the list so far. I figured we could start some sort of pool, financial, so that we could start purchasing these particular items and getting them out of the hands of mortals. What do you think?
Well, that's not a bad idea. I do have some a back room, if you will, like most pawn shops. Although I imagine mine's a little more unusual than most.
Yeah, well, I haven't identified all this stuff. I'm a mage and selfish, so I picked up some things for myself.
Yeah, well,
They're at the chantry if you want to use them. One particular thing of note makes magic study easier.
well, that's good to be aware of.
So,
Generally, we've been trying to avoid sticking our fingers into that chantry that's kind of been left over to your jurisdiction. But
yeah,
I'll bear that in mind, and certainly I will gather up these items. Perhaps I'll have to negotiate. Pawn shop owners tend to be willing to part with things in exchange for things, so maybe I can barter those over here, and then when someone does wish to purchase them, they're at least in the right hands.
yes, I would like to keep them out of the hands of mortals because while I didn't check all of it out, some of those things could be dangerous. The thing I do bring with me is the gas mask because you were in the scene with me and you noticed that they didn't ask anything about that. So I brought that with me. Did I purchase?
Right.
Yeah, I got all the World War II stuff. So
Yep.
the gas mask, and he goes, "This is one of the items that I found."
Interesting piece. Yeah. Well, over the generations, there's everybody has their own flavor for what they use. So
It had magic on it, so I brought it. So you can put it in the back room or whatever. My guitars woke up too.
well,
By the way,
I assume you're not looking to part with that. So
he just looks at it like he'll kill him.
yeah, yeah. Well, he was just clarifying because you mentioned it. But he'll take the gas mask, and for now he puts it down behind the counter. He puts out a couple bills on pretty large bills on the counter, and he says, "Sir, that's a finder's fee if you're doing this kind of legwork for me."
No, no, no. Go ahead and keep that. I don't do this for that. I do this because we have to protect the people and we have to make sure that we have the shit that's ours.
Well, that's true, but we also don't work for free either, and
It ain't work. I didn't do anything. Go
uh,
look.
well, finding is still work. Work
In that
I
case, here's what I'd like to do. Put that forward. Put that forward for buying anything. You see anything that come up my alley, just let me know and purchase it and let me have it. Deal?
He says, "Well, I'll tell you what. I got something that might interest you in the back room here. So let
Uh,
me run back."
so Cornelius, before you go, can I talk to you for a second?
Certainly.
You've been in this town a while, have you?
Yeah, quite some time.
Yeah, he goes, you can pull up a Google map. I want to show you something.
All right.
And he shows them where in the map that the hub of hell is. He goes, you ever been there?
He says, "I kind of avoid it because of the nature of the place."
Next time you go there with your eyes open. Tell everybody what you see. I'm about to take a trip there, and I want you to come with me.
He says, "Well, if you're going, I can certainly have the shop covered for the evening if you want some accompaniment tonight."
Yes, sir. See, the thing is no matter what one needs sees, it matters what all of us see.
Well, that's true. I just never had really thought to look. It was a bad place. We avoided it. We just kind of assumed it was negative due to,
It's worse than that.
bad
It's,
mortal shit
yes,
going on.
it's worse than that.
Well, I gathered that just being you brought it up. He says, "Well, let me run to the back quick, and then we'll head that way."
All right, I'll wait out you. He just starts blowing his heart. I'll make a roll actually. How good he's playing right now. Charisma plus art stuff.
Yes.
So 2, 5.
He comes back out and carrying uh like an old leather bandolier.
What
Uh,
that?
Hands it to you, and it's a Civil War era, looks like, and it's got a cavalry carbine slipped through it, as well as a pair of Remington revolvers from the era.
Look at that. No, that just be nice.
He says, "Well, something about your personality said these might be the right flavor for you."
Oh, I'm a shooter, but what side they come off of?
He says, "Well, that's been up for debate. I'm not a whole lot of a spirit guy or a time guy, so the weapons that were used on both sides, so it's hard to say.
These looks
Especially,
like a buckle, and it'll have CFA on it if it was the Confederate.
well, the buckle is not original. You can tell
Oh,
it.
okay. The weapons are.
Right.
So it's a
It's
saber and 2 pistols.
carbine.
A carbine
Yeah.
and 2
The
pistols.
yeah, cavalry carbine and a pair of revolvers.
Let's see.
He says, "I did track down a couple of spare cylinders because the that's the nice part about these revolvers is you don't got to screw around with trying to reload the cylinder. They got swappable cylinders, quicker reload time, you know."
Let's see. Look at this shirt. You only buy it. It only costs $142. That's a carbine. So it's the one with the long. It's the one with the spinners, spinner in there, or is it the one? How do you load this Joker?
Which that the
It just have the thing. It's got like the revolver looking thing in the middle.
you're looking at the pistols?
No, the rifle.
Oh, the rifle, I can tell you that one's just a it's the that's a Virginia Cavalry. That's the Sharps Cavalry carbine.
Sharps How do you even load this thing? Use
It's
ball shot.
it's breech loaded though, and he tells you he's got a guy that uses basically he's got a single. You drop the ball in, and then you drop this little. It's a cartridge, a paper cartridge that could.
Yeah,
But
is this a set?
he says, yeah, it's a match set. You know, I'll call it fair trade for the gas mask because.
I'll take the pistols. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this rifle here. I ain't even about bullets for this thing. I mean, the guns don't even use regular ammo. But you can't even can they? I mean, can they use like 44 ammo or whatever?
Which ones? The revolvers?
The revolvers, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can like go to the gun store and buy the bullets for those things.
He says, well, you look in the right place. You can still find smoothbore. He said, you just gotta look in their muzzle loader. You'll find the.
I'll take it, but I don't know what it does. Does it do anything?
He says, well, it depends. If you says, well, it depends if you're planning on shooting lead or something a little more potent.
Like what? Bullets come out of guns.
He says they do, but from what I've been told, he's got a maybe not what you might call a haint, but they got spirits to them.
You know what though? I'll take them. Here's why. They look real cool. And
says, well, I can't argue with that.
some of the best cowboys are brothers, so I figure I can 6-shooter Joe him up. Oh, miss my Glock. Yeah, and he's used to shooting revolvers anyway. Cause you remember that was what he used to carry.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, when stuff gets real, I'll take these babies out. But I suppose I should talk to the haint on the inside. So he does a spirit call and see if can he get him to come out and get him to talk to him.
All right. If you go ahead and roll that.
Clear. Spend more power. Woo! I'm like, who there?
You actually. Right.
He has to play a song. It's the same. It's a Dead Man Stomp, but it's how he does spirit call.
Right.
Let me roll the performance.
Sure.
Ooh, I got one. It's bad, but I played it.
Guy with the southern accent. You can actually hear two voices, and they seem to be kind of good-naturedly, but they're bantering and bickering a little bit. But then one of them with their southern accent goes, that might be one of the worst tunes I've ever heard. And we had a bugle boy with a goofy lip. But nevertheless, a tune's a tune, I suppose.
You in these pistols?
He looks at you and says, I'm in the pistols, but James there is in the rifle.
I'm black. Is that a problem?
He says, well, what's funny is the James is actually black too. People forget that there are people of a darker persuasion on both sides sometimes.
Yeah, I wasn't shot for idiots.
Yeah, well. Just they forget that it wasn't always just about the slave thing either. You know, some of us just wanted to be allowed to do our own thing, have our own rights, but it's all a matter of perception too.
So
Just but
you're in the
something
pistols, and the brother James over there is in the gun, the rifle.
correct.
Y'all just kind of hang out.
Well, most people carrying these ain't using them the way they meant to be used either.
How are we supposed to use them then? Talk to me.
Well, everyone thinks that War II was just a bunch of guys shooting on both sides, but there was a lot more to it than that. There was a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, but there was a lot of politics too. And well, for those of us who were on the front lines, we didn't care about politics by the end. Hell, we didn't even care about the fight anymore. It was about putting an end to the fighting. So
Here's the thing.
that's what these guns are supposed to be for, is putting an end to the fighting.
Well, I got a powerful need for some boys like you, as we about to start a war ourselves. You figure you got a little bit left in you for one more fight?
Yeah. He kind of turns and you do see guys standing there in a Virginia uniform, and he nods and he says, "I reckon I could always. There's always time for one more."
Folks don't plan on fighting, ain't always normal. But I swear they will never draw these things unless I need to.
He says, "Well, that was part of it too. Is again, everybody thinks it was all just about politics and slaves, but their politics ran deeper too. There were people pulling strings. There always are, but these were, I think, not normal people."
I ain't normal myself.
He says, "Well, that's good. Maybe that means you'll be a little more qualified to handle such equipment too.
You let me do it.
Actually give you a little bit of the act with a little more capability."
Well, here's what I'm gonna need y'all to do. Don't let me draw you unless I need to.
Says, "That's fair. I'm gonna assume if you come up against something that is a little not normal, then you're gonna need to. So how's
Yep.
that sound? You don't pull us on the everyday folk, and we'll shoot with you on the not everyday folk."
All right. I'll take that bet. We got a deal?
Says, "Fair enough."
All right. My
Yeah,
character has a charisma of 2 and an expression of 3. Let me roll my 5 dice.
that will be perfect.
Mm. He will express. He attempts to express all that because I can say, like I said, I can say all I want. I got dice. Mm. How'd I do?
Well, they're both in accord, and they actually both give you, although they are a little bit different. So, but they do salute you. You know, one of them obviously they're different varieties of salutes given which side they reach on. But they both salute you and kind of nod, and
He goes.
then they
I do.
kind of,
He goes. He looks at one. He goes. I do you a solid. I'll wear the stars and bars just for you if you want me to.
he says, "Well, it ain't about what flag you fly; it's about what fight you're willing to fight."
I'll be that.
So
Okay. You know, hoodoo man worth of salt ever turned down the spirit. And he does. I mean, I got 2 in fire, 2 or 3. I'm pretty good with a gun. Let's see. I think I'm okay with it. Let's see, fix desktop. Fix is pretty good with a pistol. Got a 2. Yeah, he's pretty good. He doesn't do the spin thing. He's not that cool. But he will put them. He'll put them in like a bag and wrap them up or whatever. Can't wear y'all out in the street. Ain't like back in the day. I fit the description. So he's like, I just need the paperwork. Cornelius, you got it.
Yeah, he chuckles and he says, "There ain't paperwork on those kind. Unless you want the historical documents, but
Well, no, you have to have the. If I have the memorabilia license thing, I can own them, and it's not really a problem. So I
oh,
was like,
sure. All right." He says, "So you're looking for the historical part of it? Gotcha."
yeah, yeah. I get all the paperwork through because he has a pawn shop, so he has all that stuff. He can
Yeah.
get concealed carry and all that other type of stuff.
Yep.
So I do that and I do that here, and I was like, I use the money that he was gonna give me to pay for all that, and
Okay.
it's all for so I can get a point of 2 points of certification.
Perfect.
So
Good
I can
enough.
street carry, these guns and all that type of stuff as well.
Yep.
But I'm not trying to go out in this town without pistols.
Yeah.
There's too many bad guys. So certification 1 is probably all I need. Whatever you need for concealed carry. That's all I want.
Yeah, I would think 1 would be sufficient. I mean, it's not like you're carrying something.
I mean, they're not even. I mean, regular people wouldn't consider them dangerous.
Right. Well, maybe revolvers, but
yeah.
you're not carrying like military grade or something where you need a special ownership permit.
Yeah, you can actually own these with the memorabilia license, which people are getting away with, which is why you got a bunch of people with old Russian guns, like Drakhmanovs and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll still blow your face off, but like people don't think that they're. Let's see, backup, blessings, change certification. So for 1, hunting license and business license. 2, teaching, body work, patty, basic firearms permit. Concealed weapons is 3.
All right. Well, good enough. 3 it is.
Okay.
They ain't never been to the Midwest if they think it's that hard to get a concealed carry.
Page 308, if you want to look at it. Let's see, yeah. Hunting license, business license, passport to an open country, teaching certificate, trucker, a CPA, truckers or motorcycle license is 2. 3 is concealed weapons, PI, private. I'm like, hey, give me a PI license too, why yet? So yeah, I mean, if he's got the hookup, I'll definitely pay the money for it.
Yeah, he can do the paperwork.
So yeah, certification 3. Bam. He will not brandish it. He's not an idiot, but
Right.
He'll put him in the bag and he'll sign the paperwork and he goes in the 3 days. He's like, don't worry, I won't carry him around for 3 days. I know all this type of stuff. I will have him tell me the law, so I know now. My guy has no law at all.
Yeah, and he'll give you the rundown. It's pretty standard concealed carry type restriction.
And he'll just tell me when he goes through. But I just purchased it. I'm just doing all the
Perfect.
work here. I don't know if anybody else is, but I am.
Yeah. Actually, you're the only one who's thought about that.
What do you mean?
Well, Miriam carries a pistol, but hasn't got any licensing for it.
That's her bad.
Yeah. Well, it changes things if the cops show up.
I got a license. I'm straight.
Right. So he says that he can have some folks man the shop. Basically, he's got to put him on to a couple of what are they, sleepwalkers, cultists, basically.
Yeah.
Where they know enough to be able to run the shop, but they aren't awakened themselves.
Yeah.
So
they're not considered witnesses.
Right.
They're in the know. They might not know any specifics, but they're in the know. So yeah, he'll wait for him.
So he has him, and then he asks if you want to take his ride or yours.
So yours, let's do this. I met your boss.
He says, "Yeah, that was a interesting evening, I must admit."
Met a fellow named Sean too. That one's full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah, he's a high strung individual, but
He takes all kinds. Good Lord didn't give us all these. Good Lord didn't give us all this stuff without making life, with not wanting life to be interesting. Fix, he gets in the vehicle, he doesn't know he crosses himself. Make sure he looks at his boots, make sure the nails are still in place, and then he gets in the car.
okay. And he's got just it's like a '70s Cadillac, and then says so. Where exactly we headed?
I give him the street address. I Google Map it, show him where it's at.
He says, "Oh, that's because you had kind of told him the area. He just wanted to make sure he was on the right page." He says, "Well, you want to go right down to the center of this thing, or you want to just get to the fringe of the neighborhood and we go in from there?"
Right to the center.
He says,
I got a streetwise of 3. Do I know a place based on I'm hearing about the place and been there and all that stuff? Am I able to get him to a place that's like he could basically a way to come in and not get shot?
Yeah, let's roll a wit streetwise."
Yeah, I got 5 dice for that, dude. I got 5 dice for a lot of stuff. Is that enough?
Oh yeah, that helps when I look at your screen and not my own. Yeah, you know how to kind of. I mean, basically, it helps that you guys aren't in a brand new car, that sort of thing. So he, you guys know how to get in there without attracting too much attention.
We'll go there. We can just watch from the car. We don't have to get out.
All right.
Like I need some goofer dust. I might do that. So I'll get out the car and throw it so it don't get on your seats.
He says,
Okay.
"Oh, that's fair enough."
He takes the goofer dust and he kind of blows it in the air so he can basically get a big wide screen, and that's when he does his spirit sight to look well his sights, prime sight, all that stuff.
All right.
Is it perception plus a cold, or do you want to? I had a weird mechanic for all my perception magic that was just looking and not actual spells. I used to just roll perception plus your spheres.
Yeah, we can do that.
No. We're gonna use your mechanic. I'm just saying. I just telling you what I used to do. So 3 dice. Let's see what happens. Roll. Bam. 663. I can see stuff.
Yep.
And what does it look like?
Well, it's definitely a dark neighborhood. So you got prime entropy spirit. Is that it? Correspondence?
Yep.
It's a specifically this intersection, but you can see it's kind of bleeding out.
Hold tight. I'm gonna roll my cosmology, so you just tell me what I would get. Don't give me the whole spiel. Just
Sure.
what my character would get. So I'll roll my 3 dice, my cosmology, and we'll see what happens. Let's see. But I got spirit side up, so I'm hoping that lowers the difficulty of the roll.
Yes. By however many. What do you have? You had 2 successes.
One, 2.
And those will all be successes because you had 2 on your spirit site. So 3 successes. Well, you're at the intersection, and you can tell that there's a wellspring here, but it's obviously not a pleasant one.
Okay.
And it looks like it's basically been fueled by violence and suffering.
All right.
You can see it's been tapped recently.
Okay.
But you can also see some correspondence effects that stretch out from here to individuals elsewhere, and it looks like they're correspondence mind type. So, not knowing much about mind, you can't really tell much else, but it's something dealing with mind and emotion.
I go, hey, Cornelius, you see that?
He says, well, he says, there's quite a bit going on. He says, but biggest things I'm seeing are the spirit and entropy, which you would also notice are kind of woven into to almost into the like street itself and stuff, and it's looks like it's basically they're drawing malignant spirits, haints, race, whatever you want to say, banes, that sort of thing, just to make the place unpleasant. Because that unpleasantness then fuels that wellspring.
We got to uncross this here hex. What we got to do.
He says, well, that ain't gonna be easy.
That's why it's gonna be a thing for all of us, a group thing.
He says, yeah, certainly not a task for now, but it's good to have a better understanding of it, certainly.
See, my thing is, it's been going on for all these long years, and ain't nobody noticed that.
Well, again, at least in my experience, I was stay away from it. It's a bad place.
Yeah.
So,
I think there's a few more places probably like this here. This is what might have some that Tremere. Well, I understand it's from your neck of the woods.
yeah, well, that's true.
Oh, one thing. You might see a few hellhounds around Chantry. Don't be alarmed. They're not there for you.
Yeah, I heard him mention. I'm not. That's kind of outside my business, but I did hear him discussed a bit in passing.
What you mean? You said something.
Well, Ethan took notice of him.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Osborne, if you will.
Well, what he say?
He just noticed that they were there and they seemed to be sticking close to the kids, so we were kind of monitoring to make sure they weren't unpleasantly sticking close to him, if you will.
Dogs is loyal. Dogs is protective.
Yeah, that's kind of what he felt. So we just wanted to make sure that they weren't summoned initially by those other heretics before.
Oh, well, I ain't summon them. I just asked them to show up for the party. I didn't know they was gonna stick around.
He says, "Well, that's something to be said for that." So
I'm sure I need help, protection. That's why I gave them to y'all.
can't hurt. Never can hurt.
You do me a favor, look in on them time to time. Maybe find out when their birthdays are so I can get them some gifts.
The kids or the hounds?
Kids.
He kind of chuckles.
He goes, both of them actually.
He says, "Yeah, I can keep my ear to the ground, find out." I think one of them boys is gonna end up possibly studying under me a bit anyway.
Teach them good.
Well, that's what we do. So.
All right. That sounds good to me.
That younger one, he's got a mind for puzzles, and that's perfect for my line of work. Mysteries and enigmas, that sort of thing.
Well, let's hope them dogs stick around for him. When they didn't coax one of them out and had themselves a puppy.
Yeah, we'll see. I think, like I say, I gotta see what they've been taught so far. Maybe do some unteaching too a little bit, but
yeah,
that's how it is.
I got to ask you a question. I got a decision to make.
She's all right.
Ever since I was a little, I've been taught to untwist hexes. Ever since I could. That's what I've been doing. I done heard this hex is worse than hexes. You can't untwist them unless you know that magic.
He said, well, yeah, there's some out there, like some types of magic that just our magic don't mess with enough. You
Out of
know, it's
character. It's called, did he say the word Witter Slang? Did he say the word?
who, Demos?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he had told you.
Yeah, it's called Witter Slang or something like that.
He said, yeah, the magic of the fallen. It's
Yeah. The fellow was going to teach me how to do that. So I just get untwisted.
it's something that can be done, and there's two mindsets. You could learn, get exposure to it, which will just make it a little easier to do it with your magic, or you can become like them, which generally is not a good thing because it's pretty aggressive on your spirit guide, if you will.
Well, I got two of them.
Well, that might make it at least a little more feasible.
So what you think, though, really? You think it's worth learning it so that I can untwist the worst hexes that there is? Because these is the worst hexes that there is, ain't it?
He said, "Oh yeah, they're definitely the worst."
So if I can learn how to undo them, wouldn't that make me better in what I do? Would it be worth what happened to my soul?
Well, it'd be worth the certainly worth seeing them. Having two spirit guides, you might be able to have one of them. Oh, I hate to say twisted, but that's kind of what it comes down to. You might be able to have one of them put into their touched by their magic enough that you could do it without it twisting your mind.
But
That's the big problem is that typically to if you only got one spirit guide, twisting that guide twists your mind too.
I happen to have a spare.
Well, that's beneficial certainly.
But my thing is, you a religious man?
He says, well, not really, but uh, I guess I am of my own belief set. Certainly not quite the same as the everyday. You ain't gonna find a church for what I believe. Let's put it that way.
All right. Well, can you put me in touch with somebody that is of God? I got some
Yeah,
stuff going.
well, he says I'm on speaking terms with the head of the choristers. He's
Where they at?
well, you can find them one of two places. Either at the church where they make their it's not really a true chantry, but their haven, or he runs a carpentry shop.
Well, you give him a call and see where he at right now. Got to go see that man.
I can do that. Yeah. He'll pull out.
I hear your fix. I hear your fix really is religious. his, his mother was a chorister too.
Yeah. So he'll get that contact information to you.
All right. Just take me on back. I'm going to go see that man because I got to make this decision. But tell your friends, Osborne, Oswald, all that, what you've seen today. And there's two people that just getting juice off of that thing right now.
Yeah, there's been I gathered at least two, but yeah, there's been at least two that touched it recently enough to get something out of it. That's nothing to ignore because those are obviously ain't pleasant folk if they're pleasant type of folks if they're getting energy from this. So he
Okay.
says I will relay that.
Brush your hair. All right.
So he'll take you back to his shop and so you can get your vehicle, and then he'll let you know that the head of the choristers, a guy by the name of Armor of God, is actually at right now. He's at the Lady of Lloyd's church.
That's where he's going.
So
Just want to get this out the way right quick so I can really make my decision.
yeah, we can do that. So we will you'll get there. I mean, it's a big church. It's a landmark church, so it's not hard for you to find.
They'll leave guns in the car. You actually lock the door though.
All right. Well, when you go in, there is assuming
Takes
you're
you
just
in.
going.
You go. It's Catholic church, isn't it?
Yep.
And he does the thing with the water and blessing the knee and all that stuff.
All right. And there's a young woman, and I suppose I got pictures for this, so might as well use that.
I swear to God, if Cornelius is really Frankenstein, I'm gonna be freaked out.
This young woman greets you when you come in.
Ma'am.
Asks if she can help you find someone or something. And generally, people don't come in here unless they're lost.
I know precisely where I'm going, ma'am. Got the good book in one hand, the pistol in another. I'm looking for the armor of God. Where he might be.
She'll say, "Well, I can take you to armor. That's not a problem."
Is that his actual name? I mean, does he have like a first name like John or Todd or something? Or we have to call him Armor of God the whole time?
Well, he generally goes by Armor. His parents were. He's the.
Hold on, that's his legal name, Armor of God?
Yeah, it's old Puritan tradition.
They didn't think that was weird. Might be draw attention to the boy.
Well, he's from a small town, so weird is normal there.
Small town, you know, black people.
Little Puritan town.
Oh yeah, so those are party guys.
But she'll take you down, and there's you can tell there's actually been a lot of work done to restore the church. But there's a in the basement there is actually a small workshop, and he's working in there.
Excuse me, sir.
He looks up and sets his work aside and invites you in.
I need to discuss something with you.
Mercy says, unless either of you wish my input on anything, I'm going to get back. I have some of the children today for confirmation I was setting up for.
Thank you, man.
She nods to both of you and gives him a little more of a polite bow, and heads out.
Mr. Armor, sir?
He wipes off his hands, comes over and holds you out. He says, "That's me. What can I do for you?"
I shake his hand and I go, look, I got the decision to make. I don't have a lot of time to do it. I need to ask somebody to go. Because I believes in the good book. Always has. Always will. But I got this thing, this conundrum, and it's weighing heavy on me. Now, I untwist X's. That's what Hoodoo Man in my family always has done. We play with the Psalms, and while we may be a little kooky, he's always tried to do right by the Lord. Now, this man has done told me he can show me how to twist myself so that I can untwist the worst hexes that there is. Because I thought I knew the worst hexes there was. Apparently, there's something that's worse. He said it's hard to untwist them if you don't know the trick. Now, this here's the trick. Now, I need to know if it's worth learning. I need to know what God's gonna think of me if I do it. So tell me.
He says, "Well, there are some pretty dark curses and such out there among those who are not of God. I'm not going to pretend to know what tribulations would lead you to be forced to make such a decision, but He says, I do know a little bit. Yeah. And what type of individual did you say?
Twisted man, what he is. He's twisted, sir.
I see you.
Over to the gentry, he is. Yes, sir.
Ah, he said you're one of that one of that group of young young folk.
Oh, yes, sir. I don't mean no disrespect at the way you'll do things. I hear tell my mama was one of y'all, named Catherine, out of New Orleans, but it went too late.
He says, well, I can tell you this. Generally, to understand the magic of the fallen, one has to fall. And having
Well,
your
me and
guardian
Faith,
fallen and twisted can twist a man quite deeply as well.
yes, sir. But the good I can do, the
Well,
hexes I could untwist, if and they showed up, sir. I was afraid if I do come up against them hexes that I won't be powerful enough to do so. Oh, hold tight. Hello?
Yeah, you'll have that.
Yeah, I had to send her with her bio dad. I am the stepdad. Her bio dad was here to pick her up.
Gotcha.
So yeah, yeah. So what does Armor say that he's like what?
He says, well, he can. He knows there's some ways to learn some of that without having to. Uh, he knows there's ways to learn it and make it easier for yourself without actually twisting yourself. But
You
that
can't do
yes,
what's up?
that obviously the easy way would be to twist yourself, but the risk is a little more apparent.
Well, I'm
You
gonna
know,
need something from you then.
he says, yeah, what can I do for you?
I'm gonna need to be baptized.
He
I need
says,
to be
well,
washed in the blood. I want my soul to be clean when I go in. And even if I do die on this, with my soul twisted like this, someone's got to put me down. At least I go to glory.
he says, well, we can do that.
If it should go wrong, you gonna be the one to take me out. Hear me?
He says, I can do that, and I will promise to do my best to make it as painless, for lack of a better word, as possible.
Come here without my group, so they wouldn't know that I would do such things like this. But the good books say you got to do stuff like this, sacrifice, all that.
Well, yeah, sometimes you have to.
I was born on twist X's, and if I can't beat the worst of them, what good a hoodoo man am I?
Well, I'm not going to pretend to tell you what your calling is. So if that's where you stand, that's where you stand, and I'm not in a place to tell you you're wrong. But if that's what you feel your calling is, then it's my place to
Lord
assist
saw
with
fit,
that.
Lord saw fit to give me a chance to fulfill my deepest desire, which was be one with my friend, my companion, dog. And dog has done showed me the ignorance of this side here. He has done showed me the duplicity, and he has showed me that all this gifts we got, we worry about all the wrong stuff. See, regular folk can't even guess the type of things we do and see every day. And regular folks is the one that suffers for it in the end. I just took out a man that's been twisting and twisting hexes on people since, for years. Hell, they twisted hex big enough to take over a whole town. Still drawing power from it. Ain't nobody did nothing about it because it didn't affect them. Now I know that the humans is stupid and ornery, but they is God's children too.
Well,
But he
that's
gives some of us to shine to be able to do, some of his good works, made in his own image, like the good books say. So I figure best if I use my gifts to the most. And if the worst hexes that exist is this kind of hex, I got to learn to untwist them. And if you got to beat them and learn them, well, I'm willing to take that chance. But sir, I need you to walk with me.
he says I will. I can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna go do it then. But remember, your word you give to me.
He says, yeah, you, I can
Now,
do that.
I am going.
he'll take off. He's got a rosary that looks like it's got the beads were carved out of wood, and he hands that to you. He says, "You bring that back when you're done. But in the meantime," he said, "you'll have my blessing." Good man, from what I can tell.
I don't know about good. I don't even know about a man.
He says,
I'm
"Well,
trying.
you're trying to do good. That's good enough for me."
Thank you, sir.
He says, "A man who tries to do good can't be bad. Might
Yeah, but
might make mistakes,
road to hell is
but
paved
that's
with good
because we're
intentions.
human."
Some old smart man once said that road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Well,
I'm gonna make that a long walk now. Hellhounds on my trail. I'm gonna tell Demos to do the thing. Do what you
all
gotta
right.
do. If I fail, whatever. But I got somebody that's gonna take me out. So I'm good now. Because
All right.
Demos wouldn't do it with his punk ass. No, just stay here and hide. Man.
Yeah, well, that's he would probably be more of a here. Let me try and help you fix it. We'll
Fuck
see what
that.
we can do.
Ain't nobody got time for all that. We got mage problems.
That would be a big one.
Yeah. So if basically if I go bad, that armor dude is gonna come fuck me up.
Yeah,
And I
well, that's
tell
what you told him.
mm,
That's what you asked him, and he's said he would do it. So,
go ahead, fuck my character. Let's do this.
all right, we are going to find me the right damn page.
There's probably no way out of this, dude. Once you start, you're fucked.
You are, but yeah. So you're gonna go back to the chantry
Yeah.
and tell Demos to go ahead, and he will lead you up to the wellspring.
Mm-hmm. Dude, on a seeking, like he basically he's letting dog and the blues man know what he's about to do.
Well, and the two of them both will tell you that basically one or the other, but you don't want both of them coming through with you for this.
Okay.
That you want one to stay behind to help remind you of who you are. So
All
you
right,
come
boys.
out.
I'll have the blues man stay behind me and dog gonna walk this way.
Okay. And then Demos will basically, I'd say,
Now, other character, what's gonna be totally hilarious is if Nefandi never show back up in the game. I'm gonna laugh my black ass off.
yeah, and it's basically he's looks you right in the eye, one hand on each side of your head, and I suppose we get Demos up here, huh? His eyes kind of seem to flare up bright orange, and looking in his eyes, the rest of the world kind of seems to fade, and you're standing in what looks like a big long tunnel, and then his orange eyes kind of merged. At the end of the tunnel is glowing orange. So dog is standing next to you.
You ready to do this, bro?
He just kind of gives a little bit of a growl.
All right.
So you start walking down the tunnel, and it is As you progress, even though the orange glow is getting lighter, it's almost like the tunnel's getting darker around you.
This is probably stupid, but at least I know somebody's gonna take me out. Anyway.
And as you advance, there is a you kind of hear whispers, and then from the end of the tunnel, you can hear basically what sounds like people screaming. And the laying in the tunnel as it starts to clear up, you can see people laying on the stones, and they are kind of whispering to themselves.
They okay? They kind of touch them or look at them or whatever?
Yeah, you can touch them, look at them. They look like they were probably walking down the same tunnel as you and
They didn't make it.
didn't make it. They fell. Some of them, in fact, you find one where his feet, and you can tell his feet started to bleed. He started crawling, then his knees and hands were bleeding, and he eventually reached a point where he couldn't continue.
I'm still walking. Let's see what happens.
I am going to have you roll me a willpower.
Just my current.
Yeah. Although you should have recovered one since last night.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7. So roll my 7 dice. Can't spend more power on this one.
4 successes, so you're able to keep moving, but you almost have a sense of despair a little bit, and the people whispering around you seem like they were trying to do good. That they started to give up, but they wanted to accomplish some sort of great work or do something good, but they failed or gave up hope or gave into despair,
Okay.
and here they are.
Keep on trucking. Can I feel that rosary thing with me?
Yes.
He's holding on tight to it.
Okay. As you get farther and farther in, you you see the end. The you can start to see out the end. It's not just glowing, but you can make it out, and it looks like a stone bridge extending over a pit of flames.
Okay.
And then on the other side, it's a gateway. You can't see beyond it.
So I gotta walk across this bridge.
Yes, that'll be the next step.
Okay.
And you can hear the screams are coming from below.
They fell off the path. I'm going. What I gotta do?
And you can let me let's give a intelligence cosmology first.
Oh, Jesus. Can I lower the difficulty with this ability roll? Magic, spirit, or entropy, or anything like that?
Well, it's going to be reduced by 1 because you're carrying the rosary.
Okay.
But yes, you could use spirit sight if you wanted to reduce it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Got it. So -3 difficulty, 1 from the rosary and 2 from the successes.
Yes.
Let's fuck this up. Damn.
It's pretty blatant. You're crossing the lake of fire. Yeah, and
Oh,
you just walk through a tunnel where people with good intentions had fallen. So you're fairly certain what you're crossing.
oh,
Um,
awesome.
and I'm going to have you roll me a willpower at difficulty. We'll go at diff 7.
Oh, jeez. So, wow. Botch. And Marcus loses his character.
Well, you I'm going to have you roll dog's avatar rating,
Okay.
and let's go with a diff 8 on that.
Nothing.
He's kind of snuffling and growling and shaking his head, and is looks fairly uncomfortable. But he'll start to basically he grabs you in his teeth and starts dragging you along the path.
Okay.
And you will
Lose
incur
a willpower point now.
you lose a willpower.
Essentially, it just gets harder as you fail.
Correct. And then you can give me another. You're at about the midpoint right now, so roll me another willpower. Diff 7 here.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So you're able to, and basically because dog got you this far, and you're able to kind of you push yourself up using him.
Yeah.
But you're able to stand.
But his avatar dropped by 1, I assume, because he failed the roll.
Well, I got something else working.
Okay, cool. Next, let's do this.
So, but you put stand up, and he kind of stands next to you, so your hand is kind of right at like his scruff, and then he kind of crawls and urges you forward. So, and then to keep going across, give me another willpower to the end. All right, so you get to the gate, and you can see that while the bridge on this side of the gate was over a lake of fire, on the other side it's black, pitch black.
All right.
And it looks like the bridge, you kind of lose it in the darkness.
Okay.
So if you want to continue across it, it is a diff 8 willpower to.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes.
All right. You get about halfway out to the middle, and you can see that the end, what you thought was the middle of the bridge, is actually the end. And it basically ends out over this nothingness.
So you essentially have to jump in.
Right.
And was that what that roll was for?
So you are at, what's that?
Was that roll was for?
No, you got yourself out to the end.
Okay.
So
Now what?
well, dog looks at you, looks over the edge, and looks back at you.
Is he asking, is it me or you? Is what he's saying?
No, he's kind of indicating that he'll follow your lead, but he ain't going in on his own. You know, if you go in, he's in with you. Which,
Trust me.
so, yeah, kind of looks at you, gives you a little bit of a shakes his head, almost like no, but then he nods.
That's weird, isn't it?
Oh,
So,
what's that?
was he just joking? Is he like, nah, yes, no, then no, or he doesn't trust me, or he does trust me?
Well, he trusts you, but basically the impression you got was, well, you're an idiot human, but yeah, I trust you.
Okay. I pick dog up, hold him close to me,
Okay.
and I'm like, it's me and you. You know, wrap the rosary around my hand, put my hand on dog. You know, utter prayer, hoping that this works. And am I supposed to jump in? Do I feel that's what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah,
Or
that's
is that
the next
the
step.
test?
You have to
Okay.
you have to
I
give
do it.
yourself
I jump.
into it. All right. I will need first give me a avatar roll for dog. Minus one die.
Force of 3. Fuck this up. Hey, I got an 8.
Yeah, and this one was so you got one out of that. So then give me a willpower.
Ouch. Oh
But
well.
you get to it, and you'll have to just roll one additional, but or roll additional, but you get to add spirit and you get to add his success. So
Have to roll 3 more dice.
yeah,
I can't fucking win.
no, you cannot.
It's cool if I lose the character. I'll make another one. I trying to do something cool.
Well, apparently dice is fucking everybody. Basically, as you're this is what you assume the storm feels like for people who normally encounter it. And it basically feels like hot needles tearing into you everywhere. And give me an avatar roll for a dog.
Okay. Same 3.
Yep. You take a point of aggravated damage, but he basically he clamps down on your arm and to make sure you guys stick together. And you essentially, where it was blackness, it's not really darkness, but it's still a void. You get a feel of emptiness. And then you slam back into your body, basically. Your whole body is rocked. And you can still, because dog is your avatar, you can still see him with you, but he's obviously different.
What does he look like now?
Well, he looks like.
You have a picture, don't you?
I do have a picture. Of course, I have a picture.
I internet for fun, bitch. Of course, I have a picture.
How did I just put it? That's the bigger question.
Whoa. Look at him, a dog.
He growls and snorts. but he eventually kind of circles around and lays down. And Bluesman is still there, and he asks you to play him a song.
I got odd success.
Yeah, you did. He nods his head. And he says, "That's good.
Wow, what do you mean?
Well, you're still you, although Dog is of the other side."
You okay, boy?
Yeah,
It just growls at me, doesn't it?
yeah, pretty much. Well, he does, but not in a mean way. It's just more of a acknowledgement.
So now I'm more vicious too because Dog is bonded with me.
Uh, well, yes and no, because you were able to conserve yourself, so to speak.
So he probably drops down to a 2, or he stays at 3.
He stays at his 3. Um,
I assume Bluesman lost 1 too.
no, neither of them lost one permanently.
Okay.
That was just while you were passing through.
They're basically your shield while you're down there. Your avatar is.
Right. Well, what it was is each time you fell, he could drag you, but he could only drag you so many times. So
Okay, I got it.
that's what, you know.
So wow, man, if you roll a really extra shitty, that does not work well.
No.
Well, fuck it up. How long did this take? I bet it like days, didn't it? Days.
Well, it was easily a full day. But you can tell that Demos was there with you the whole time. And he tells you that he can instruct you now. You'll see the difference in your magics. And basically what it is
you now have the Dark Secret Flaw, Marcus.
yeah, well, that you do. But when you use, I'll type this up, but you can essentially tap into Dog a little more directly. But you run the risk of losing yourself then, same as he does with the Dark Prophet. You can work magic above what you normally could, and other people will have a vastly harder time doing it, affecting it, because it's void magic. So like to counter void magic has a higher difficulty.
But to use void magic, you might go crazy.
Right. Now you can now counter void magic at a normal difficulty.
Before it would have been nigh impossible.
Right.
What does the rosary look like?
Well, the wood of it is scorched, and the cross itself is it's almost looks like the wood burned away, and it's a pair of iron nails that have been twisted into a cross.
That's nice, duh. Sure, he's gonna play a different kind of blues now.
Well, he can say he was literally went through hell. So.
Oh, so the thing, it was always twisted that way, or now I changed it to that?
What's that?
The cross. It was always 2 nails twisted
No,
together?
it was a wooden cross before. So.
Hey, you know what I have now? New magical focus. Get off me.
Yeah, you do.
I was like, Demos, did that just go to hell?
He says, we all pass through our own tribulation.
I'm untwisting hexes now.
He says, yeah, and untwisting regular hexes with his help, and he'll kind of gesture towards Dog. Be a lot easier. Untwisting the darker hexes be easy, about as easy as regular hexes, but
Okay, so I have the dark secret flaw.
correct.
How long is it? How many minuses is that?
No, that's a 3-point.
All right. Woohoo! I got bonus points. I don't, but it's all good.
I will get you a write-up for how exactly that's going to function.
I know. I took you to a place you didn't expect people to go.
Well, I kind of knew how it was going to work because I had built demos to do it. So,
But yeah, but didn't think no other players would be dumb enough to do it.
yeah, well, that's fine. So I assume you're going to, since you spent the rest of the day, or since you spent the day in there, that'll probably be about it for Fixx for a while. He's probably got to take some time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be in these scenes for a while. So let me know when I'm good again.
Well, it was a full day, so you're gonna have to, plus I assume he's gonna want to spend the rest of that day, the rest of that 24-hour period getting his head on straight again.
Yep, because
So.
I have dark wishes. So I will talk to you later, sir.
All right. Well, we will wrap up there. Thank you all for watching. This was a side scene for Minneapolis by Night, the Mage venue, and there'll be more to come.